Hello everyone, this is the Nameless One, and tonight we are going to be doing Creator Roundup Voice Actors 2. Before we get started, I would like to remind everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, follow on Twitch, all of that good stuff. More about how to support the channel and these lovely individuals at the end of the podcast. And let's go ahead and get started with introductions. Let's see... Fluffy, I'm going to make you go first.
Hello there, I'm Agent Fluffy, and I'm a newly professional paid voice actress. I have been voice acting for almost 12 years. I've been professionally trained in 2017 for commercial and narration, and in 2023 and 2024 for commercial and character voice acting. I've been trained by Chris Okawa and Michael Yurchak for character acting specifically through such a voice. Outside of MLP, I mainly do Danganronpa and Ace Attorney voice acting. Thank you for having me.
Sorry.
You feel better now, Fluffy?
Yes, I am.
I'm
trying to be professional.
You did it.
There you go, yeah. That was a great introduction.
Now for the icebreaker part that I usually have, what's your favorite pony to voice act?
Oh, my favorite pony to voice act? Rarity, obviously. He's my favorite, though.
Okay.
He's been my favorite in 6.
Butter.
Hello everyone. My name is Butterbolt VA. I use they, he pronouns. I'm a fan MLP VA, and I've been voice acting for a few years. Thank you so much for having me.
You forgot the favorite pony to voice act question.
Oh, okay. My favorite pony to voice act would definitely be Starlight Glimmer.
Okay. Fox. It is Fox, right? I never actually checked.
Yes, it is Fox. Yes,
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Hi, yes, my name is Fox Cinder. I'm kind of a ye oldie MLP voice actor. I haven't done a lot of recent things in the MLP sphere, but I've done voice acting in a lot of other games and different areas. I'm most notably known for my covers, my vocal covers. I do a lot of singing, or I did in the past. Most notably, probably Luna Soliloquy is what I might be known for. I've also sung with Everfree Brony on songs and albums like Here on the Moon. Kind of most notably also for my Applejack and Rarity voices. Thank you so much for having me. Oh, and my favorite pony to voice would definitely be Applejack, because it helps me use my native Southern accent.
Sour Patch.
Hello, my name is Sour Patch King, but you all can call me Sour. I've been a voice actor since 2018 is when I started actually taking lessons in it, and I got my first professional gig back last year, and I'm currently in the middle of working with my coach on a demo, so that's very exciting for me. I would say that my favorite voice is my favorite voice used to be Button Mash, but I've lately been breaking it out as a Sunburst VA, which is probably my best voice now. So I would have to go with Sunburst. And I also am breaking into the FNAF fandom as well with another 2 friends of mine.
Okay. Stella.
Hi, I'm Stella Starr. I'm a voice actor, artist, singer, and writer. I'm most known for the Grim Darks I've voiced in, and my favorite pony to voice is definitely Pinkie Pie, hands down.
Okay.
Don't you mean boobs down?
All right.
And Wastelander.
Good evening to all our viewers and our esteemed guests. I am the Equestrian Wastelander. I've been doing some voices for a while, on the side. For more professional wise, I started doing it recently. Beforehand, it was mainly just storytelling, D&D, other kind of things. But recently, I just became on as the voice actor for our Wasteland Productions Fall to Equestria animated series, Deadshot Calamity. And honestly, it's the first one I've ever voiced so far, so it's also my favorite one to voice. So I kind of narrowed that makes the question easier to answer.
Understandable. As much as I want to do voice acting, I have not actually jumped into it yet. So, I understand your pain there.
Yeah, beforehand, it's mostly a singing part, so vocals. I could have sung characters before because I think Sour mentioned favorites was Button Mash. What was it? Mine at Night. I used to love singing as Button Mash for that song, like just on my own. Never professionally, never as cover, but just for fun.
Same.
Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the first question. We might as well get this one out of the way quickly. So everybody has their own creative process. In this case, it'll be like what I'm referring to is like what you do to like get into character and warm up and all of that kind of stuff. But what does y'all's creative process look like? And we can start with Butters.
Okay. My creative process, it usually consists of just like saying silly things as characters, because usually when it comes to me, I usually just like make shit posts and stuff. But aside from also doing comic dubs, but I usually just say silly things as characters, like really get into that mindset and get into the creative grind.
Okay. I'm assuming that's all you wanted to add?
Yep.
Okay. Then let's go with Stella. You get to go next.
I usually use songs and singing to get into something. So, like, say I'm doing a Southern character like Applejack, I'll listen to country songs or low-key country songs. Something like Pinky, I'll listen to upbeat party songs. And if it's something sad, then I listen to a sad song that, like, feels like what the scene is.
Okay. Fox.
Yeah, mine's about the same. Since a lot of my background is in musical work and doing parodies and covers, I typically find some kind of song or theme or vibe to get into it. I know oftentimes in voice acting, a lot of voice actors will mention that they have a specific phrase that they use to get into the character, and I definitely do that as well. Like, the one for Rarity is definitely like this is the worst possible thing. Like that's like definitely I'll use that to kind of get me in the mind or the thought of the character, so that it helps with the acting as well.
Okay. Fluffy.
Okay, so my thought process when it comes to voice acting is basically like if you know the character really well, you just immediately get into the voice like that. But for characters that are really hard to do, like that's kind of difficult for me, like to get into it naturally. Like say I will list like a few characters like let's say Diamond Tiara, for example. I can't go into it naturally unless I can go like, I'm high. That's like go into it. And with Kokichi, like I will list a Danganronpa character, Kokichi says, I get into the character really well. And also with Mew, my warm up is voice for her is that's my story and I'm sticking to it, ya cockroaches. That's pretty much what it is. Like there's some characters that I can do like with a certain phrase, but other than that, like I can do it like naturally, you know?
Okay. Anything else?
Let's see here. I think that's pretty much about it.
Okay. Wastelander.
For me, it's a lot easier if I'm able to see obviously a script, but most of the characters I would ever do come from actual stories, and being able to read what's going on in scenario, like what were they doing prior? Were they running? Are they angry? Were they getting to understand the situation allows me to get into the character better. For instance, with Calamity, it's more of like, I cannot believe you did that. I really cannot believe you did that, little Pip. Just, oh man. Kind of like those little things. Like, he gets into those moments where things just go to hell in the wasteland. Or if I go to other characters where, like, I play a little anthropomorphic fox to where he's, like, super excitable. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, wait. Oh my god, this town is just so amazing. Oh my god, look at the market. And just, like, runs off. Like, the more I understand the situation, the easier it is for me to get into a character and get the right, breathiness, get the right emotions, voicing, pitches. That makes it. That's kind of like how my process goes to go into characters or voicing.
Okay. Sour.
Me personally, my favorite warm up to do is tongue twisters. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If a dog choose, who choose does he choose? I thought of thanking you. I have a date at 7:45. I'll see you at the gate. Don't be late. It kind of it helps you get ready for those fast kind of talks, and it helps you practice your pronunciation, because when you're a voice actor, you want to pronounce those and very well, but not too well where it's just gonna pop in microphone and sound unnatural and stuff like that. But for getting into character, I find that there's always a call for me for a character, whether it's a fan made character or a character that I have to come up with the voice for myself. It's usually a one line that I take from the show that I know would that. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Anyways, it's yeah, but yeah, basically, yeah. Getting back on topic, it's a call for me whenever I'm voicing a character, and it's about something that they would normally say that allows for a different range of emotions and emphasis and stuff like that. And another thing that I go by to help find a voice for like an original character, which I need to come up with a voice for, is I like finding that laugh, how it would sound like if the character laughed, because I feel like laughing is one of the more natural human emotions and stuff like that. It helps kind of develop the rest of the voice there. That's pretty much my creative process when getting into character.
Okay.
Now, if you excuse me, I'll just be right back.
Okie doke. So for our next question, what we're gonna do is so it's kind of a two-part kind of question. What is your biggest piece of advice to newcomers to voice acting, and what is the one biggest thing that you wish somebody had told you before you got started? And we'll go ahead and let Fluffy go first.
Okay, so one of the biggest pieces of advice for those that are new to VAs is like one of the things I highly recommend starting out, and this is what one of my coaches actually told me, like professional coaches, have experience with stage acting beforehand. It'll help you get into character so much more easier, and makes it, and also go into like like if you want to do it professionally, like go take classes. Go take professional classes. It'll help your voice acting be a hell of a lot better. And the second part of the question, the question being like, what kind of advice did I wish I would have like before I got started? 99% of the time, you would get more rejection than actual successes in terms of auditions. 99.9% of the time, it's more no than yes. And that's pretty much a hard pill for me to swallow when I first started voice acting. And now I've pretty much accepted it, and I know I'm not gonna be butthurt when I'm not gonna be butthurt when I don't get the role and stuff like that. I'm not gonna be like as butthurt like, I deserve the role. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be a huge bitch about it. But seriously. But yeah, that's the kind of advice that I wish I had when I started. But yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I have.
Fox.
Just want to say I'm back, by the way.
Okie doke. Fox, your turn.
Yeah. So one thing for me is, there are so many amazing resources out there for new and seasoned voice actors. When I first got into voice acting, it was in 2011. So it's been a long time. And at that point, things were very rudimentary, but even then, like there's so many resources out there. You'll hear panelists all the time when people ask, how do I be one? Well, there's a whole website, iwannabeavoiceactor.com. It's a great place to start. There are wonderful Discord servers, like the Voice Acting Club. Casting Call has some great information, and just reaching out. Never be afraid to get out there and connect with other voice actors. Steal from them the cool tips and tricks that they have learned from experiences. Talk with them, communicate with them. There's a lot of Discords that you can just be a group of friends and practice every week, or have an accountability night where you make sure that you get your auditions done. Voice acting in a lot of ways can seem like it's a competition because, you're auditioning against other voice actors, but it shouldn't be that. You're helping each other find the strengths and weaknesses in your performances so you can be the best that you can be and really bring out the best in those characters that you want to play. So, make a lot of friends, get to be a part of that community, and find those resources that are out there and free for you. Voice acting does not have to be a really expensive endeavor. You definitely do have to invest in it, but it doesn't have to break the bank, especially when you're just starting out. You don't necessarily immediately have to get a demo. You don't have to take every single class. There are a lot of resources that are available and out there for you at affordable rates, and are just, help to break a lot of times barriers to entry. So find those resources, make those friends, and get out there and just be a voice actor.
Okay. And I'm going to actually add a little bit to that. There are communities out there that are also like the Creator Hub, for example. It's a community that's meant to allow for creators to connect with each other. So that is not only a good place to find other voice actors to get a hold of, but also to find potential projects that you can get on with. I know that at one point I almost worked with Fox. I forget what happened but there's been...
Yeah, I don't know either. Sometimes projects come and go, and you just say, okay, and go on to the next one.
Yeah, but it's worth looking into communities, because Creator Hub isn't the only one of its kind, not by a long shot. So it's always worth looking into communities where you can find work as well. go ahead and let Sour go next.
Um,
The question,
my,
and just so you caught up, the question was advice to new voice actors and something that you wish you had been told before you got started.
Yeah. One thing I wish I gotten told when I got started is how fast one can improve, and how listening to all your past blunders and auditions and stuff, even if you made them or not, or listening to all your stuff that you voiced in, it helped. It's a hard pill to swallow, but listening to them really does help you improve. It helps you identify what you did wrong at that time. It shows as well that you've grown since then. You've improved your skill and your maturity since then. But my personal advice to aspiring voice actors is there's no it's not rejection whenever you do not get a role. It's not about rejection. It's about selection. Just because you weren't selected doesn't necessarily mean that you got. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean you did bad. It did somebody. There's a voice that fits everybody, and unfortunately, the character you tried for just what somebody you may have fit that character well, but just somebody fit that character better. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's something to be proud of for that person, as well as it's just a motivator, because it just tells you I may have not gotten this character, but that doesn't mean that I did bad. And you can always ask. It's always reasonable to ask politely and respectfully ask a creator who is running a casting call. It's always a safe bet to kindly ask them what advice they had for the character on, or how they or their personal opinion on what you could improve and stuff like that. It's all about improvement.
Okay. Wastelander.
For me, since I guess I'm coming in from the perspective of a new voice actor. It's never, honestly, the most simple words I can give is to never give up, or never to doubt yourself. For instance, when I was voice acting, or not voice acting, auditioning for the role of Calamity, it was out of nowhere. Like, I was just joining the project to do something completely different, go as a singer, and they said, "Hey, we're looking for a Deadshot Calamity voice actor for anybody who's interested." I'm like, "You know what? I'm from Texas. I'll give it a shot." And I did. I gave it I gave it my best. I gave what I could, and then I figured, okay, I gave it a shot. Time to move on. And I was settled to just leave it there. And then suddenly I get the message saying, "Hey, congratulations! You are the new Calamity voice actor." I'm like, really? No way. And I was so excited, but at the same time, I never thought that I was better than anybody. I never thought that I did better. I was even curious. I asked, "Hey, is it possible I can listen to the other auditions? I want to get some inspiration if possible." And they were kind enough to let me listen to them, and everyone who auditioned was really good. So it was just different. The only reason I believe I got selected was, I was just the voice they were looking for. As, Sour and a couple of others said, it's not about being better. It's, just the voice you do, and if that's the one they're looking for. And there's always going to be people who are going to be looking for the right one, and I'd say there's always chances to, apply yourself, to keep trying and keep trying. and eventually it'll come through. Just don't stop believing in yourself. As for advice, I know I kind of just went into advice, but this is more of like where I came in as a vocalist, but I believe it's equally as applicable here for voice acting. There are going to be multiple times where your voice might give out, or you might be doing auditions and something just doesn't go right, or you start doing recordings and you get sick, or your throat just doesn't feel right, or the mood isn't right, or something's going on with the day, and it just can feel like it's a bit much. But just take a breath or take another day, relax a bit, compose yourself, and try again. So if something doesn't work one day or something doesn't work one time, it's not the end. There's always going to be more opportunities and more chances, and more ways to not just improve, but to give things an opportunity. And I always say, just go for it, just give it a shot. And the worst that can happen is they'll say no. But not gonna be rude about it. Just be like, we weren't looking for this at this time, but we loved your audition, or we loved your application, and try again later.
Okay. Stella.
For advice for new people, I would say that know you want to do it. Know that that's something you really want to do, because it takes dedication. It really does. And if you don't want to, and you don't have your heart set on voice acting and set on the role that you have or the role that you get, you can tell. And it just doesn't come out the best of work. And if you feel like you want to try it out, go for a short or a comic dub, a really short story. And if you like it, go for something bigger, go for something longer lasting. And something that I wish someone would have told me is that it takes up a lot of your time, and you kind of have to make time for it sometimes. Sometimes deadlines are so close that you have to search around previous plans to be able to record for it. And I wish I would have known that.
Okay. And since I'm pretty sure you haven't gotten to go yet, Butters, go ahead.
Okay, so one of the biggest pieces of advice that I recommend is to not be afraid to put yourself out there. Like, don't be terrified to audition whenever someone's looking for a voice. Go form connections with fellow creatives, and that will give you confidence in yourself, and that will help you learn things from other people. I've learned so much from the connections that I've made by putting myself out there on YouTube, on TikTok, on Casting Call Club, and just not being terrified to reach out to fellow VAs. And something that I wish someone had told me when I first got into this is that you don't need like a giant like booth and like an $1,000 mic just to voice act. Granted, you can grow and improve your setup, but sometimes you just gotta work with what you got. Like, I started with like a crappy USB mic, and with some tweaking, I was able to make myself sound pretty okay. And I really thought that I really needed like a $500 mic just to be like a true voice actor, quote unquote. But that simply wasn't true. Equipment does not define you, and learning that truly helped me in the long run.
Actually, I was gonna say something if nobody else did about the expensive ass equipment, because I may not be like a proper voice actor, but I do have some experience with voiceovers for videos as a YouTuber, as well as like doing narration for D&D games. But what Butter said is 100% true. You don't need the world's most expensive microphone. So being able to get what you can equipment-wise is going to be... It's work with what you got, but try your best to make it sound as good as possible, like taking into account if you're in, a giant-ass empty room, you may come through a little tinny. And there are some people out there, myself included, that will hear the weird robotic echo that you keep getting because you're sitting next to a metal locker trying to record, and it will drive them up the wall. Ask me how I know. But yeah, it there's a lot of things that you can do that all you really need is like a blanket and maybe some like egg cartons that will improve your sound. It'll look janky as hell, but it's it's better than sounding like you're trying to record through a tin can on a string.
Yeah.
Another recommendation that I have as a YouTuber and somebody who has paid voice actors before, collabs. Whether it's with a YouTuber looking for somebody to like do a couple of lines or a streamer or whatever, or it's with other voice actors, singers, musicians, doesn't matter. It's a good way to get your name out there, and the more willing you are to work with them, the more that they are going to recommend you to others. Word of mouth is one of the best ways to get your name out there amongst other creators, which will get you noticed for like, oh, I need, say, we'll use Rarity as an example, and say I've worked with somebody here that I know now because I worked with them that this is a person I can go to for that voice. So collabing and like working with others is a great thing for you to do, because I can guarantee you about half of the YouTubers and whatnot out there don't even know that casting call exists. Which also kind of rounds back to the Discord thing. I forget which person brought it up at this point, but somebody brought it up. It gives you the opportunity to actually be able to interact with other people.
Exactly.
So I think the next thing we're going to go into. So this fandom is very well known for its need for impressionists. So I'm going to ask you guys, which do you prefer? Doing impressions of like existing characters, or doing the more blank slate characters that don't have voices, i.e., your fan fiction characters or fan made characters, or just like the ones that in general you have no real guidelines for.
Original.
Let's see. Okay, so we got Sour and Butter's opinion on that one. Fox, you want to throw your hat in there?
Yeah, I really enjoy original a lot more. I mean, I obviously got my start with doing impressions and everything like that, but when you don't have to worry about matching a pre-existing voice, inflection, acting style, etc., I feel like it opens you up more as an actor. The voice part is only a part of the voice acting. The real kind of power behind what happens is the acting. And when you're so focused on trying to replicate a certain sound and or worried that people will think that it isn't authentic to the character or the original performance, it can sometimes stifle how much you want to ad lib or do things like that. So I really enjoy having those original characters, because then you can just go all out and kind of make it your own.
Do you have something to say, Fluffy?
Okay, so basically that's a tough question because I like both, to be fair. But I like doing both types of characters. It's just a really, really tricky question for me. It just depends on the character. Like, for me, when it comes to like my own projects and my own acting, I do not focus on how accurate the voice is. It's the acting that matters to me when it comes to when it comes to like acting in my own projects and also for others as well. Um, I I just go all out with my performance, like regardless if it's like, an existing character or original character otherwise. I put my 100%, even if I'm dead tired, I do it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Stella.
I find it easier to try and replicate because you already know the voice, you know their personality and stuff. I find it easier, and it is harder to do an original character, especially if it's not your original character, because you have to ask questions, or at least if you get the role, I know that I ask questions after, like, is this way they would say it? Is this the way they would say it? Like, is this what we're doing? But I like voicing original characters more because it's more difficult and it makes it more fun.
Okay. Wastelander, I feel like I know your answer, but go ahead and tell us what you think.
I might have a good answer, but just for clarification purposes, rephrase the question one more time, please.
Basically, do you prefer doing like the blank slate or OCs, or I guess fan fiction characters would count as well? Or do you prefer the ones that have pre-established voices, like say Rarity or Rainbow Dash or Applejack?
It's actually kind of a tough one. The blank slates, each one has their own strengths and inspirations that I like. For instance, the blank slates or the OCs allow me to just come in with like as it says in the name, a blank fresh slate. I don't have to feel like I'm trying to match up to something, so to speak. I can just come in with what I feel is natural, and kind of work from there and progress. As for like the predetermined voices, as you mentioned, like Rarity or other characters, it is also fairly easier because if I don't know what kind of voice I want to put in, if I have a voice I can try to match up to, or I guess not mimic, but just try to put my own little spin on and replicate. There you go. Then I can just work towards that. I have to go with between the two, the fresh blank slates OC characters, because it's to me it's always fun to and enjoyable to just come up with my own different voices or own different ideas. Because with the blank slates, I can imagine a story, I can imagine a character, how they would react, and just let that imagination fuel how I'm going to voice that character.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I hope I didn't just go into a rambling tangent.
And Butters or Sour, did you two have anything else you wanted to add to that, or is that I want to make sure I give you plenty of time to say whatever you wanted to?
Yeah.
You go first.
Oh, okay. For me personally, I'd now that I've had experience actually doing both, I kind of like doing both because I'm currently with a group and we're dubbing the entirety of the MLP like IDW comics, and it's fun getting to do like pre-established characters like Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Twilight, but also getting to do characters that haven't been in the show, that don't have actual voices, and we get to do our own spin on that. And having to do that really made me think that I really like both, even though like I have like a strong like preference to do like pre-established, so that way I know like what's expected, like what to like and stuff. But getting to be original is like super duper fun. So yeah.
That sounds like an interesting project.
Yeah.
Sour.
I had something that I, but that I I kind of thought of when Stella was speaking, but I forgot about it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
See. Hold on, the brain cell just kind of lost it there. So, for those of you that are, what am I saying? If I could remember how to English here,
Oh, I know that struggle so much in voice acting. I know that struggle so well.
so
What is words again?
the things that are trying to all come out of my face hole all at once.
Right.
Anyways, so I know that there are a lot of projects that are going up nowadays that are brand new, whether in the fandom or in the internet at large. If you could apply for any project, no matter how pipe dream it might be, what is something that you would like to be able to voice act? It doesn't matter whether they've filled their voice actor roles or not. I'm just curious. What is your ultimate pipe dream type acting role that you would like? And we'll go ahead and start with Wastelander.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to be slightly, not disappointing, but I actually realized mine. For some context, since at least 2012, 2013, ever since I saw a picture of Little Pip for Fallout Equestria, I was like, oh my god, there's a Fallout version of My Little Pony. And ever since then, I have just been following anything Fallout Equestria related, watching all the studios, and all the projects that just went into trying to create like an animated series. Well, for instance, the radio play. Oh my god, the radio play was so amazing. It's probably one of my favorite things of the fandom to listen to every once in a while. And I always dreamed of, maybe I can join a radio play one day. Maybe I can join something for Fallout Equestria. And over the years, that kind of just, not diminished, but with the military and other things, it kind of just went away to the side. And finally, at BabsCon, about a few years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, somewhere around there, I heard about Wasteland Productions and applied myself to join the project. And I got joined on as singer. I'm like, all right. They asked me to do HR rep. I'm like, all right, human resources rep too. Okay, that's not too bad. And then it gets to the point where they mentioned earlier they asked for a Calamity voice actor audition. I tried for that and ended up getting it. And so finally being in anything Fallout Equestria related for once was the pipe dream and the dream that finally came true. And I would still love to be able to do a radio play one day. That'd be really fun. But my biggest one was just joining something Fallout Equestria related, and it happened. So yay!
Stella.
So, I would love to be in anything that is absolutely terrifying. Like, the scariest thing that anyone could come up with. I would love to do that. Either as, like, villain, hero, first person to die, I don't care. I just love the idea of it. I don't have anything specific, I just really like horror.
Okay. Butters.
Something that I would absolutely love to do to be in an audio drama. I've always seen like a bunch of them when I was like a kid, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like peak. This is peak. Oh my gosh, I want to be in one. But I've never like actually like looked out to see if anybody's like doing one, but like, hey, I exist. But yeah, I've always like wanted to like do one or like make one. It's peak dream right there.
Okay. Sour.
What was the question again?
In any role across the internet, or even like official properties, whatever pipe dream type thing that you would be like your dream role.
My dream role, as a main character or a main villain in a cartoon on Nickelodeon.
Makes sense. Let's see. Fox.
So I do a lot of streaming, and I play a lot of those them there gotcha games, what has all those really cool characters, and I just think it would be really cool to play a game where on stream and my voice is one of the characters. I just think it'd be really fun. So I think that's sort of my goal. I do a lot of audiobook and commercial stuff at the moment, so I'd love to do more character acting. So to be able to actually get a role that, especially if people draw fan art for this character, it'd be just really cool to be able to see the passion and love that people have for it. So I think that's kind of my dream/goal, is to be a really cool character that people like one day.
Okay. And Fluffy.
Oh my god, you have no idea how excited I am when you asked me this question. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would love to be in the Danganronpa, like official Danganronpa game with the killing game. I would love to voice the mastermind or one of the Blackens and then see all the brutality. Like, I mean, I'm in like two like different fan games. One is an actual like fan game. Danganronpa Refresh Retreat, and the second one being Danganronpa Project Paradigm. I am. Oh my god! If I were to voice in an official Danganronpa game, I would freak the fuck out. Seriously, I would. I seriously would. Like if that would be my pipe dream. Seriously, it would. Like I've been really obsessed with Danganronpa since 2017, and it's literally been my obsession ever since. Like one of my greatest special interests.
Okay. And next question. What is the hardest part about voice acting or being a voice actor for you? And we'll start with Sour.
Wait, could you repeat that? I only got like half of that.
The hardest part about being a voice actor or doing voice acting for you, whether it be like a difficult character or a just like general experience that you have to deal with.
Personally, hardest part for me is getting used to not getting a part. It's a really hard pill to swallow. The fact that it's very very difficult to land a part, especially considering how competitive of an industry this is. It's a very hard pill to swallow, and it's a very hard thing to get over. but it's something we have to eventually get over, and the sooner you get over it, the better.
Okay. Butters.
For me, something that's difficult when it comes to voice acting is actually staying in the character voice because um sometimes when I just like have to do something as like Twilight and I'm just like, okay, I'm Twilight Sparkle. I gotta be like a hype, cool little nerd. Sometimes Rainbow Dash or Applejack will want to pop out of my throat and just be like, hey, hi sis. Just like, no, get back in there. You're not supposed to be here. um and just like whenever that happens, can sometimes like throw off my focus and just make me forget what I was supposed to be recording for. So yeah, that's something that's really hard when it comes to me.
Okay. Stella.
Hardest part for me is so ironic, and it's actually speaking the lines. Because the amount of times that I have had to redo one sentence because my mouth can't mouth words is actually sad. It makes sessions way longer than they should be.
You know, that is entirely understandable. To be entirely honest, I have been there.
Every single time that I go to record. Every single time. I can't speak. It's so unfortunate.
That one line that you have to do 15 fucking times because no matter what you do, you say the wrong thing. Yeah, I've been there.
Exactly.
Oh my god, yes, that happens to me too. My god, the amount of times I had to do Pinky was, oh my god, that one fast ass line.
See,
Literally.
the worst part is, like, you guys are doing it in other people's voices. I have to sit there and do it in my own voice, and I still do that shit. And I wrote the damn lines.
My god, that's the worst part.
You write the lines, you look, it's like, how do I want to do this again?
How am I going to do this? What was I supposed to do? Wait, I wrote
I had
this.
an idea. It went away. It's gone. It's just like the brain cells in my head. It just hopped out.
Okay. Fluffy, your turn.
Okay, so the hardest part for me when it comes to voice acting, one of the hardest parts for me is like you know, like really deep raspy voices. Like for example, I'm gonna give a Danganronpa character for example, Sakura, Ogami. She has to go down like this. It kind of hurts my throat to do this, you know. It's very like her voice is very low and very raspy and it irritates the fuck out of my throat, literally. But it's just one of those things, and it's a type of voice that's like deep and raspy. Like my throat's like, what are you doing? Give me throat lozenges. I'm starting to irritate. And then another thing that's hard for me is like I'm trying to do my line, and then I'm like misreading it, and I'm like, can I read today? Can I read tonight? That was like really really difficult. Pinky especially is difficult. Like I would do like a really fast line for her, long paragraph, like 10 times in order to get it right. And I'm like, oh my god. It's very challenging for me as a voice actor. Like seriously, it's so hard. Especially when you have to do like a 2-hour session or like an hour and a half session of recording lines. Oh my god. It is difficult for me as a voice actor to do that in long periods of time sometimes. Especially when I don't voice act for a long while. That happens.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wastelander?
For me, it's more of time management. So, depending on what you do for a living and what your life is usually like for instance, I'm in the military, so I have training exercises, deployments, rotations, 24-hour shifts, details that can come up at a moment's notice, late work hours, to where it's like, oh, you're a 24-hour soldier. Guess what? I know we said you're going to be off at this time, but you're going to do this. So, things like that can play into like when I want to record, or I feel I have the perfect voice for the day. I'm like, okay, I'm so excited I get to go record. And then something just comes up. I'm like, well, hell.
So
And
much
it
for
can be
recording.
pretty, yeah, it can be pretty frustrating sometimes. Because, you want to put the time aside to do the recordings. You want to put time aside to do multiple recordings, to do test recordings, to do auditions, or to just practice, or even do warm ups. So oftentimes, but so, depending on what you do, sometimes finding that time can be hell on earth. The easy way to put it. It's like it can be hell on earth, but you know, eventually there'll be moments where you find the time to do it, and you're just like, okay, I'm taking this whole day just to get through this, and then yeah.
Okay. And Fox.
Yeah, I kind of echo what Sarah was saying before about rejection. It can be really hard, especially if you were really excited about potentially playing this character and you feel like you did really well in the audition. And then the hardest part for me is hearing nothing back. You learn that you don't get the part when it's announced that someone else got the role. Like you a lot of times don't hear any kind of feedback about what you do, and that can be difficult. But, just taking what you can, getting that practice in, going, and there's always going to be another audition out there. From a voice acting standpoint, though, for me it's efforts. I have such a hard time with effort noises, and like genuinely trying to laugh, or genuinely trying to like sound like I got punched in the stomach. Like there are some situations, especially if you're in a booth with your constricted movement, you can't necessarily get the physicality in the performance that an effort noise requires. So for me, it is and always will be effort noises. Like even now, I can't really genuinely laugh. I have to like really think hard of something that is funny to get me to laugh for a line.
Makes sense. Okay. And I think before we do audience questions, I have one more question for you guys from me. For those of you that have worked with people before, like commissioners and whatnot, how do you generally prefer working with them? I know as somebody who does the paying side of that, I generally try to get the voice actors to sit down with me so that we can do the lines while I listen. But what is like y'all's preference for that kind of like work? And we will start with Fox.
Oh, sorry. You were saying commissioned versus non, or like what's my
Like-
favorite kind of work?
Generally, what I was saying is like generally, like how do you prefer working with people that want you to do voice lines for them? Like, do you sit down with them? Do you just throw them a bunch of lines and then never think about it again?
Yeah. I think it really varies. Like I've done all manner of that. I prefer when it's the writer and the creator of those characters that's getting me to voice that line, because then they're really passionate about that individual. They know they know that character's favorite food, like they know things about that character, and you are there to help bring it to life. And then it's nice because you kind of actualize that in there. So I really enjoy more reading those types of characters than just like, okay, here's a potential, I just need you to narrate for this particular scene, or I just need voiceover over something that's happening in this advertisement, like things like that. So that's why I really am passionate more about character work, because they really are passionate about that individual, and that helps me as the voice actor bring it to life even more, because I know, okay, I can bring a little backstory into what's being said, or maybe play it up a little more because I know the depth of this character, because the creator is passionate about them too.
Okay. Fluffy.
Okay, so since I'm a newly paid professional VA, I would have to say
Flex.
when it comes to commission projects, I would have to say first things first, I gotta sign a contract from my agent. First things first, before they hire me, and the price depends on how many characters there are that they want me to voice, how many lines, and also the whole, like, and of course, recording time, of course, and all that stuff is like highlighted in a contract, and yeah, they'll have to contact my agent for prices. So that's basically when it comes to commission projects. As of how I do things with my projects, I usually prefer live directing, is to help the VAs with the characters that they voice as. It's just a lot of fun for me to do. Like, live directing is really fun for me to do.
She really loves it when her actors burp.
Yeah, that part's true. That part is true. And let's just say that I'm very specific when it comes to live directing, and I cause some of my VA friends to have laryngitis with my live directing. It's just the way that I do things.
Whatever you say,
it's,
Fluffy.
like, very specific.
Just a forewarning there.
Oh yeah, I go all out when it comes to, like, live directing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wastelander.
It's going to be probably one of the ones I don't have too much to say on, because I've never actually been commissioned before, and that's not, that's like an insult or anything to me. I'm just so new to voice acting on, this kind of scale that I haven't gotten the chance to yet. Though, what?
Sorry to interrupt. He's not necessarily talking about commissioned work in particular, but like work for somebody who has you voicing in their project. Like, what is your preferred way to work with somebody who's running a project that you're voicing for? Not just commissioned, but any.
Oh, okay, that's even easier then. Yeah, so for the project I'm on, Wasteland Productions, I prefer, straight up honesty, prefer understanding, willingness to communicate, talk about the character, what their expectations are, a little bit to description about the character, how they see the character, and stuff like that. Like, the more people are willing to communicate, the easier it is for me to fulfill the role for that character and what they would like me to do as the voice actor. So, yeah, well, at commissions never happened, but like for the words are words and they're out of my brain. As for the production group, it's it's also easier if you're like working with people who are easier to get along with and open to understanding as well. Especially with other voice actors. So far, every voice actor I've worked with on the project, it's just been an absolute blessing. And I haven't had any, a-holes pop up or anybody be, rude or anything. So, just a great, kind environment helps go a long way.
Okay. Sour, I'm gonna let you go next.
I like live directing, kind of like how Fluffy does with me.
Oh yes.
But I'm very high standard when it comes to what I expect a director to do when they live direct. I expect them to be honest. I expect them to communicate thoroughly and well, because and it's better when it's the writer of the character, writer of the scene, or the director himself. It's better for them to be directing me, because it it allows me more room for more freedom for question and stuff like that. Because as a voice actor, I I did you only get this, you can only go so much based on words on a page. The words on a page, and not just your character, but for everybody else's. But when you get in there, and the writer actually um helps break down the scene, it breaks down the scene or what they visualize for the scene. It really helps you get a formula for what they want, and for help bringing it to life. And plus it helps make it so that you don't have to worry about redoing it all over again after you've done it yourself, and then it turns out that it's not what the writer or director had in mind. So they ask you to do it all over again. This way you get it. This way you get all the criticism right there live, and it helps you establish a formula.
Okay.
Exactly.
Stella.
For me, I've done it both ways when it comes to. I have been someone to get lines given to me, and I have been someone who has given lines. And in both ways, I love when you have a call or a session or something where you talk with the director about how they want that character to act, how their pronunciation should be and everything, and do a little reading through it. Don't actually record yet, but do a reading through it, get the criticism, get the everything you need to actually record, and then soonly after that call, record. Because for me, it is a struggle to record while someone is there listening to you, and it's hard for other people as well sometimes, especially if you're like new to it, where you get nervous and maybe think you're going to mess up and you don't give your 110%. But when you're alone, you're more willing to go crazy or mess up. So your 110% comes out way better. But I hate it when people don't tell you what they want, because then you record everything and then you do nothing correctly.
Makes sense.
Right. Right. It's,
Mhm.
it's just like I'm used to people like live directing me while I'm recording my lines. I'm used to that because like of like me doing like somebody recording like my voice for a demo and stuff like that. I'm used to like people live directing me while I'm in the middle of recording. Stuff like that.
Okay. And Butters.
For me, I really like having somebody tell me what to, like like what the character is like feeling, like when I have a script given to me, like if they have like some like descriptors of like what the character's feeling, what's going on through their mind, that can really like help me with the mindset of like what to do and what to record, because usually I haven't been live directed before, so because I usually just tend to like record and then just throw it at them and then never forget. I just forget about it, just boop out of my brain until they message me just like, hey, can you can you redo this line? And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah.
Okay. Fox, did you get to go already?
Was this about the like what kind of project you work on, or is this a separate question? Sorry.
It was
It's about-
the
Sorry.
the project question.
Okay, yes, I already did.
Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to the audience questions. I actually have a few tonight, so skip that one. What inspired you to become a... Hold on, I got to read the... Okay. What inspired you guys to become voice actors? We will start with Sour.
What inspired? I always loved acting and playing pretend. Growing up, it was just a fun escape. It was just a fun escape. As a kid, and acting really gave you the creativity and ability to pretend a lot better, and it but I for voice acting specifically, I did want to be a actor back when I was since I was like 10, but I never really pursued it because I was still focusing on like school and stuff, obviously. But when I got out and I was still getting into the Brony fandom, I discovered fanfic readers and voice actors such as my friend Scribbler and and her friends Magpie Pony and the Lost Narrator, and they're and Goody Serenade, and they're all pretty big inspirations for me getting into the Brony community as a voice actor. So I started utilizing my mic. I learned how to use Audacity and stuff like that, and I tried out for a bunch of different roles. I got rejected a couple of times, but then came my first time when I actually got accepted. Was a Christmas Mario special by, of course, she's in this call. You know who you are.
Hi, I'm the creator of that fanfic reading.
And she apparently liked my Luigi voice, and it was things just the connection built, and everything just went up from there. Through her, I met my friend. Yeah, I met other voice actors. Through her, I met Scribbler, and through her, I kind of got closer to a friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours, Musescript, who I'm still very close friends with her and her boyfriend and stuff like that.
Mm.
So yeah, I kind of have Fluffy to thank for giving me my my official start in voice acting.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh, oh, that's so sweet.
Fly, Double D, fly.
Anyways, Wastelander, your turn.
I gotta say, for inspired me was what I mentioned earlier was the radio play for the Fallout Question radio play, and not just that, but I've always had a thing for the 1920s and the Roaring '20s, and just how people spoke, and the aesthetics of that era. So I always kind of imagined what it'd be like to speak in a vintage microphone, speak into just to do a radio play and just relive those days. Would be if I ever get the chance to. That'd be amazing. But just having that inspiration in mind, it's kind of what inspired me to finally take that shot and go for the Calamity audition. And just like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. See if this leads. And yeah, it's unfortunately pretty straightforward for me on that one.
Okay. Butters.
For me, what really inspired me to get into voice acting was really a lot of people telling me that I should go into like voiceover and just be a voice actor in general, because like a lot of like ever since like I was 12, like a lot of people were like, wow, your voice sounds really like really professional, like oh my gosh, I can hear you in like a radio commercial. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I never really thought anything of it until I like rewatched some MLP audio dramas, and I'm just like, you know, I might do some silly stuff voice acting as the horses. And bada bing, bada boom. Now I'm here.
Okay.
But hey, I'd like to touch up on that. I've never been told that I have I've never been told when getting into voice acting, I was never told that I had a voice for radio, but I have been told that I have a good face for radio.
Ooh.
Sure, but yeah.
Not sure what that's supposed to mean, but okay. Stella.
I think it's because you don't see any face in radio. Because you just listen to the voice.
It's basically, if you watch Alistair from Hazbin Hotel, that's the exact personification of perfect face for radio.
Stella.
What got me so hooked on voice acting was when I was little. I was a imaginative kid that acted out bizarre things in her mind and with her toys, like way too much. And I also, when I found MLP audio dramas, I got obsessed with that so much, in the fact that I would take my little toys and I would reenact them with my own voice and actions and everything. And I didn't know at the time that I could have done that. But when I learned, I saw casting calls and I auditioned for one of my very close friends' casting call. Or we weren't friends then, but we're really close now. And I got in, surprisingly enough. And then that just like kicked off everything for me. Like I met so many of my friends and their audio dramas, and I even made my own and everything. Like it kicked off everything.
Okay. Fox.
For me, it was definitely, growing up watching cartoons, getting to know all these amazing characters through their voices. There are there were a lot of awesome voice actors that inspired me to pursue it as well. I was able to go to conventions when I was younger, and I was able to meet the voice actors and talk with them and just meet them as people, and just how much talent they had in bringing these fun, colorful characters to life, and such a depth of character to them as well. When I first started doing voiceover, back when on my YouTube channel when it first started, I just had a lot of fun mimicking those voices, mimicking those styles, and using those inspirations. And so it's awesome to be able to, because of the practice and because of learning from them, I'm now able to do the same thing and then inspire other people to do the same, and hopefully again create characters that people can bond with and connect with, just from the voice acting that I do. So, yeah.
Nice. And Fluffy.
Okay, so this is a kind of a sentimental story for me when I first started like doing like voice acting stuff. I am autistic and I learned how to read when I was a year old, way earlier than neurotypicals. And um like I was around like recognizing letters at the age of 1 and then started learning how to read when I was around 3. And my dad would always read stories to me in the way that is so fun and so animated. And it kind of grew on me. And I learned from him how to like sound so animated whenever I read. And it makes so many kids and so many like junior high school and high school students be like, whoa, it is so entertaining. You make it so entertaining. I was like, let's pick Fluffy and let's have her read. And it is like it I that's and then when I was a teenager, there was a junior high school talent show. I started off as an impressionist and then it just grew into like voice acting when I started when I was 14. It was just I've been pursuing it ever since. It's like my job now. It's just an amazing journey, honestly. Like from the crappy rock band mic that I have to a $600 S87 and an almost $1,000 audio interface of Apollo Twin now that I have now. And the booth that I have used to be used to be like a broom closet. It was just, man, I've basically what inspired me to start voice acting was basically mainly my dad and also rest his soul, Robin Williams. So yeah, that's pretty much my biggest inspiration when it comes to the backstory of how I got started with voice acting.
Very nice. And for the sake of time, because I know we have somebody that needs to be somewhere fairly soon, we're going to roll these last two questions into one question. What is your favorite genre to voice for, and what role do you favor, the villain or the hero? And we will start with Wastelander.
Favorite genres? I have to say it's between post-apocalyptic. Hold on. I got caught. I have to say it's between post-apocalyptic and fantasy. Those are probably my two favorite genres to do any acting or voice acting in. As for between the villain and the hero, oh, both are so much fun. I guess I've done the hero more often than not. I really have fun doing the villain, but I would have to say the hero more than the villain. It's just so much you can do there, and so many different ways you can be a hero, and so many different types of heroes. I guess you could say so. They're both fun, but I prefer the hero.
Okay. Stella.
My favorite genre to voice act is horror, hands down, no matter what. Horror.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Cause like there are different types of heroes. I agree with that. And I don't know, I just don't get to play the villain enough. I play the hero a lot because everyone says I have a really sweet voice. And so it's really easy for me to play hero, apparently. But I would love to play the villain. I think that's what makes it like one of my favorites is because I don't get to do it often.
You haven't
Okay.
seen Hoodwink, you would love that. Just like there's an adorable villain in that movie.
Oh, really? I'll have to
Yeah.
check that out.
Fluffy.
Okay, so some of my favorite genres of voice, like grimdarks, for example, and also murder mysteries. And I love voicing those. I also love voicing like comedy, romance, and that type of thing. Oh, this one's so easy. I love voicing both roles, but villain's my favorite, especially when they do the over the top evil laughter like this.
I love it. I love it.
That type of thing.
Was amazing.
Yes, it. I actually have like a demo of one of the original characters I voiced is actually a villainess. Really cool.
I can vouch.
Yep, that's my favorite character in my demo to voice. That was really cool to do. I had to go over the top with it because Michael was like, hey, Fluffy, go over the top with it." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I love it when directors do that also because it's just amazing stuff. Oh god, you really go all out with it, being over the top.
Box.
I'm always a fan of like little slice of life. I like when you see sort of the whole range of the character. So whether it's you're following them from a day-to-day perspective, their interactions with other characters, I just like when a story is long enough that you can see a whole range of that individual, because that also makes it more fun to voice act because you have to put yourself in the shoes of those characters. So like little slice of life things, drama can be really fun and a comedic tone to it as well. And I'm definitely villain 100%. Heroes are fine, but villains are more fun. They also have a lot more fun dialogue. And especially as I've aged, my voice has gotten deeper. And so now I can really hit those sort of iconic, like sultry tones or those kind of mischievous tones. And I love me a good monologue.
Oh yes, so good. Like, oh, those are so fun. Villains are so fun in general for me to voice. Oh my god.
Butters.
For me, my favorite genre to voice in would definitely be like comedy, slice of life. I haven't gotten a chance to like do grimdark, but I feel like I would have a lot of fun. Which role do I favor, the villain or the hero? I play the villain. I play the hero a lot, but like it's just so fun to be bad. Like
I know. There's a reason there's a song about it,
I absolutely love the way you said that. That was amazing.
Definitely favor the villain. Love nom nom, eat up monologues, dramatic backstories. Nom nom, eat it all up. But yeah.
Oh god, that actually irritated my throat a little bit doing that over the top villain laugh. Throat lozenges are your best friend when it comes to voice acting.
Sour.
My favorite genre is I have a tie between a couple comedy, horror, and slice of life. I would say are my favorite three. With a close with close sci-fi / adventure being close number 4 and 5. And as for a hero or a villain, I definitely would say I love heroes so much, and I can't even say that with a straight face. Villains all the fucking way.
Exactly.
See, I'm not even officially a voice actor yet, but I kind of like I agree with you guys because I do D&D and get to play villain all the time, and it's the most fun.
Oh
Because you want to know what holds those silly, stupid fucking heroes back.
What?
Morals.
Mhm.
When you're a villain, you get to do whatever you want. And then you just get to be so free.
Exactly.
So bad.
Okay.
There's freedom in evil.
For those of you that may or may not still be watching, if you enjoyed that and would like to see more of it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, follow on Twitch, all that good stuff. I have links in the description for the Discord as well as the links that I was provided for these lovely people. Be sure to check them out, as well as if you want to show further support to the channel, there's the Patreon, YouTube memberships, Twitch subscribers, of course, super chats and bits are also appreciated. Other than that, a big thank you to my priest tier patrons, Cameo Shadowness, Ice Crystal, and Scarmix. We will be back tomorrow afternoon for the Lost Memory Second Chances campaigns, barring any last minute, time problems. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great evening. We will see you tomorrow, and don't forget to drink water.